This is a story about a girl who doesn't really like obeying rules.
This is bullshit.
And subsequently gets given community service. Oops! And has to look after a kid?
This is Lucy, your little sister.
Are you a lesbian? Are you African American?
Plus, she can't really commit to her girlfriend, has a very nosy neighbour, and her mum does voodoo. But instead of her teaching the kid...
What's up, everybody? It's DJ Rainbow, Power 105.1. This is Power's Industry, home of new music and entertainment. This is my co-host, Kathy, Ahmed, and today our guest is the beautiful, talented actress, Charmaine Bingwa.
Perfect, yeah, no, you've got it, yeah. Oh my God, what an intro, thank you.
Can you tell her I taught you how to speak?
Yeah, she.
Oh, look at you giving linguistics lessons, I love that. Go girl, go girl.
So welcome.
Thank you, it's great to be here.
You have such a sexy voice. I'm not hitting that.
No, I appreciate it,
like,
my brother.
wow.
I feel like when you're around so many Americans, I'm like, wow, my voice really stands out now.
Yeah, no, you'd be surprised. We all want we want to just pop out with that.
Oh man,
Australian
I can show you a
accent.
few words, it's fine, whatever you need.
Yeah,
It's funny when I'm in America though, I'm like, I feel like I become more Australian. Because everyone's like, I love your accent. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah,
Let's
sure.
turn it up a notch.
So it's like
G'day. Yeah, g'day, Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, exactly. And then my Australian friends
I watched
with
the
me.
Crocodile Dundee movie before I did this interview.
Oh, did you?
So I'm like,
Oh, you're like ready. You'll know more than me.
Oh my goodness.
So let's jump right in.
Let's do
Tell
it.
us about what's going on with you, your career. I'm hearing you are a one-woman show. What are you doing with that?
Keep myself busy. I like to keep myself busy. So I'm an actor, but I also filmmake and direct and produce and whatever I need to do to make something cool and give it to the people, I think. So at the moment I've got a show I made called Little Sista, which is a bit of a strange little comedy that shows a girl who's like really irresponsible and she gets paired up with a younger girl for community service, and then ironically the little one teaches the older one what to do, and it's hilarity ensues type thing. So yeah, and it's
you did this whole thing by yourself. You produced it, you directed it, you were
Yeah.
an actress.
Yeah.
And it actually won an award.
Yeah,
already.
yeah. Won at the LGBT Toronto Film Festival. Won an award for Best Screenplay, and then it's in a bunch of festivals as well. And a company called Reverie has picked it up, and they're going to stream it in a couple of weeks internationally.
Does that involve, so when they stream it, like what does that mean? Is that like a Netflix deal?
Yeah, it's actually one of the first queer-only streaming services. So it's going to launch very soon, and yeah, it's going to I think they're backed by iTunes, I believe. So yeah, it should be great.
So it streams on different platforms, like other networks pick it up or something.
Oh no, they're purely just. No, you're all good. They're purely just. They're like the gay Netflix. They're calling themselves. So yeah, so they take a bunch of content and yeah, that's the way.
So you can't get on their network unless you're gay? Or
Unless you're making gay films, so yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. It's not like a strict thing.
There is no guest list tonight.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we're full, sir.
So I mean, I've been reading up on you, and you are very passionate about the LGBT projects. And so, are you?
I am. Yes, I am.
Like, girl.
Sorry, babe. And we just got off on the Crocodile Dundee tour. It was all going so well.
He thought he had a chance.
I'm sorry, boo.
I was texting. I was like,
Yeah.
son.
Cancel all my appointments tonight.
So
Oh my God,
part
you're
of the
hilarious.
reason why you started creating your own content is because, being a lesbian in the industry, was it hard? Is it harder to get roles?
I think it's like a double-edged sword, probably triple-edged sword. I think it's harder being a female, it's harder being a person of color, and it's harder being somebody who's queer. And so it's not just, I didn't necessarily want to tell a queer story to be like, oh, this is me and I'm putting it out there. I think it's a story about inclusion, to be so anyone who's just not the mainstream, I think at the moment, it's a moment for us now to get our stories told. So I just wanted to have something different, and that just happens to be my voice and where I write from, so it's like a coincidence,
I would like to know about your upbringing. How did this,
Where'd this voice come from?
Obviously Australian, but you're acting. What made you want to do that? What age did you want to start?
I wasn't one of those people who was like, I came out of the womb and I wanted to act, or when I was 5, I watched Al Pacino and I wanted to act. My parents are from Zimbabwe, and then they moved to Australia, and they had me a little while later. There's like an 8-year age gap between me and my brothers, so I might have been a little surprise.
Little break.
No, yeah, little break. Yeah, exactly. So, and then I just was a normal kid and went to high school and stuff. But I actually was a musician first, so I started playing guitar when I was 12 and singing. I do. I feel bad, like, man, in like my place in LA, there's like 4 like awesome guitars sitting there, and I'm like,
Collecting dust.
I'm bad. Yeah, I don't love you as much as I used to. I do love them, but I don't play as much as I could. Acting's keeping me pretty busy.
But you've been on tour playing the guitar with a lot of famous people.
Yeah, I mean,
like
lots of
Demi
artists
Lovato.
when they come to Australia. Yeah, like Demi Lovato, and
So
like
how does that feel? Like, is it a different stage experience? Being on Broadway, because you do that very well. You've done 79 shows or plus shows on Broadway. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So like to be on stage with like a musician that's like them like these big names. How does that make you feel? What's the difference?
Well, it's like, I think music was like my first love, but I think they're kind of the same. I know obviously they seem very different, but I think performing on stage as a singer or an artist is very similar to performing for people. Yeah, exactly.
So
you're channeling something and you're affecting people, so I think it's kind of the same. And I like to treat them the same, and I think that's what makes my acting a little bit different as well. So, yeah.
So, is there anything that you've been on that people would know, like any shows that you've participated in? I mean, I know you're doing a lot of independent projects and things like that have been very successful.
Not yet. Not that
Have you
Americans
had-
would know yet. So
No, they don't.
yeah.
So also, there's like
Australia.
a different show, like in Australia, that's popular that you've been on. Something like that?
Well, this one's like I filmed it in Australia, and then I do have a movie coming out shortly as well with
Monica Bellucci.
Monica Bellucci. Yeah, so that's coming out soon, and I think it's an international movie, so I imagine it'll play over here as well. It's a bit more like horror style thing. So so that will be coming out. I'm not sure when that's coming out, later this year, and there's been a couple of little
Is it up on the
projects.
IBM already?
IMDb?
IMDb. I would
Yes,
say that.
totally. That's right.
All right, so
That's
what role do you play since it's up already? Because I know sometimes you guys can't say. But
Yeah.
since it's up there already. Then,
Yeah, that should
what's
be
the-
fine. Right,
what's-
guys? Should be fine.
Yeah.
So I play, how do I say this without giving away too much of the story? So she, at some point, wow, this is difficult. There's lots of, it's a horror movie, but it's very it's a comedic horror movie, and she has this superpower that sometimes goes through people, and it happens to go through my character, and she uses me to try and get to her long lost son. I think it's all I can say. So
Can you say the name of the film?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Necromancer.
I was trying to put necromancer.
It's a lot of tricky spelling things in here.
Yeah.
I've heard that. That comes out
problematic.
like the Harry Potter stuff.
It's that kind of
Necromance,
vibe.
they always
Oh
say that
yeah,
in
they
Harry Potter stuff.
what's it called? Raising the Dead. So
I'm a TV guy here. So.
yeah, you're like I know the TV stuff.
So when you were filming Little Sisters, I know this is like your baby, this project.
Yeah.
What is there anything in your real life that you felt you had to put in there, like any experiences that are very similar to you Charmaine, and then the character? Well,
It's
the character's name is it the same? Are you the same?
yeah, it's kind of like a different version of me. So it's not exactly how I am, which is good because if you see the show, you'd be worried. So she's probably kind of like a way more extreme version of me. But yeah, I think there's definitely some real things. I mean, like when I was younger, I used to be a mentor in the Big Brother, Big Sister program, and I thought that was kind of cool. And then there's a whole bunch of stories that have happened in my real life that I just slotted into the show that some of my friends are like, that really happened to you? And I'm like, yeah, man. There's this time when these guys were there were these Chinese builders renovating my apartment, and they were speaking in their own language, and every once in a while I'd hear a word that sounded like the N word, and I was like, hang on a minute, and then I kept hearing it, and I'm like, wait, what you saying? And then I asked one of my friends, and I'm like, I think they keep saying this thing, and they were like, oh, that in Chinese that actually means the word So like the N word means yeah. And so like I had this whole thing where I'm like, I think they're calling me in my own house. Like what the, this is not okay. And so like all these like anecdotes like that, I'll just pop them in the show.
Cool,
so
yeah,
yeah, you'll hear it now. You'll be like,
don't get beat up.
yeah, exactly. Don't be dropping that somewhere. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much how the episode goes.
Yeah. Wrong saying too much, you in trouble.
Basically.
So like, how do your parents feel about your projects and the stuff that you're? Do they know that you are?
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Some
turn on the TV.
Listen, my mom doesn't know anything I do.
My jokes.
Something I gotta tell you. 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Yeah. My mum knows, and she's like, I think she's been as cool with it as she can. She's like an older African lady, and you know that's not really something that she grew up with. But she's like, okay. Like I think over the years, she's like, okay, I'm kind of down with this. So. How you been? Yeah, exactly. Who are you hanging out with?
Your brothers knew though, right?
Yeah, my brother's like high-fiving me and stuff, man. Yeah, exactly.
You guys
They're
have
like,
common
that one?
interests now.
Sick. Yeah, exactly. It's family affairs. Just kind of good.
Oh man, I had a follow-up question to that.
And then I distracted you with like...
Yeah. No, wait, but have you been back to the motherland? Have you been back to Zimbabwe? Because have you been visited?
I haven't been back since I was like 13 or something. So I like my parents love Zimbabwe and stuff, but you know it's been a bit like politically there's a lot going on and the country's in a bit of turmoil. So they're like, don't go back there in a hurry. So, but yeah, my mom's actually coming out to visit me here to come to America for the first time like next week. So that should be kind of cool. So,
That's amazing.
yeah, hopefully she'll like it.
Any future projects we should know about that you got coming out?
Yeah, I'm. When I head back to LA, I'm getting into the process of making a film called Kairos, which is amazing. Yeah, it should be really cool. So that's kind of like time travel, like interstellar vibe film, which I'm really looking forward to. This amazing writer called Zach Paul Brown, who wrote something really awesome. So we're getting a bunch of very talented people together to film that.
When does that come out?
It's probably going to be, it might just get into the like 2018, but probably early 2019. So that's the thing with film sometimes, right? You do, like, you know how you're saying that film, I'm like, I forgot I even shot it. Like, that was like a year ago. You know what I mean? And even this show, I'm like,
so much. Your resume is so like amazing.
Thank
like,
you.
Her resume, like, I need my resume to look like that.
I like to keep myself busy. Sleep is the enemy. No. But I just love what I do.
Is there anything you haven't reached? Like it seems like you've done a lot. Is there anything you're aspiring to do next?
Oh, look, I just want to do like bigger and better roles that are more kind of global and international and just more of them, you know. And I probably want to continue in the filmmaking thing and just, you know, you never know what kind of show.
What do you like more, being in front of the camera or behind it? I know you said you're the ADHD of the film, and I was like, that's like
that's her. Yeah.
Like I feel that because sometimes I feel like I do a lot of different things. But do you ever feel like you don't get to complete a project and like, or do you?
Well, maybe like I definitely now like with future projects, I think I want to just start bringing in people. So like I definitely think where I love is I absolutely love acting, and I think my other super strong talent is in writing. So they're like the main ones, and then you know sometimes I just pick up the other ones because it might be fun. Yeah, but you learn so much. Like I've learned it's so weird having like made something that's so long. You're like, oh wow, you just have to you learn more than you can imagine.
What's one of your favorite memories from working? Just I mean, I want to say in all your projects, but really with Little Sister. What's one of your favorite memories?
Little Sister, like it just we shot it very quickly because you know it was tight budget and you know you've got like a limited number of days to shoot, but it would be like every like third take would go, okay, just improvise. And everyone would get to just do these things, and a lot of it ended up in the series, and it's just really funny stuff. And we had a few like particular comedians come in, and there's just stuff that I'm like, that is hilarious.
Wow.
And also working with a little girl. She was like 11, and she's just so cute, and she would just put up with us annoying adults all day, and just be like, "Hi, how's it going?" It was really cool. Yeah.
So I just have one more question before
Sure.
we get out of here, and that is, who is it you're looking to work with? Who is the ideal person, director-wise or actor-wise? Because you'll be playing on both sides of the ball. So give me a director that you'd like to work with and an actor or actress that you'd like to work with?
Director would have to be Steve McQueen. I just absolutely love him. So his first films were like Shame and Hunger, and I just love his artistic style. It's kind of very minimal, and like he looks to get like a lot of like behavior across with his actors. And he also did 12 Years a Slave, and he made Widows, which is coming out now. And I just love his worldview. Like I've heard him speak about diversity. Like I remember he was on this panel and there was like 6 white guys, and he just kind of, they were like, what do you think about diversity? He's British, so he was like, I just think it's disgraceful that like people don't put like people of colour in. It's an absolute shambles. It's disgraceful. And like called out these 6 guys like who were standing next to him, who were just, trying to shrink. And I'm like, I want to work with him. And his filmmaking's beautiful, man.
He's a non-conform. He doesn't conform.
Exactly. And like and when he talks, it's like he never even had the idea to conform. Yeah. And it's so hard for most people to be like, oh, I'm trying to break out of this. And he's like, but that doesn't make sense to me.
His attitude is that just do it.
Yeah.
Like, you getting in the way of you.
Exactly. And my actress would have to be Viola Davis, who I think is amazing. And the lead of Widows as well. So, yeah. I mean, they should have put me on that film, but the next one, I'm sure.
Got you.
Yeah.
So, we want to thank you for coming out.
Oh, thank you guys.
Phenomenal experience. I know Kathy was really excited.
Oh, man. You guys are great.
What time is she coming? What time is she? She'll be here tomorrow.
She's coming. She had to come from really far away. No, absolute pleasure. So nice to chat to you guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Can you give us your social medias, your handles, so
absolutely. Do I have to spell it out? It's kind of a funky spelling.
Yeah,
I kind of want to do that.
Some of our viewers are like,
It's all right. My name's tricky. It's fine. So you can find Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's all /Charmaine Bingwa, which is CHARMAINE, and then BINGWA. And don't forget to look up Little Sista as well, which is Little Sista series. Yeah.
thank you for coming out.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks, guys.